Living with Lolita, grab a notebook and a pen. It's not about where you start, but how you end. There is no topic that can't be discussed. This platform is open, no need to hush.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Lolita and welcome to another episode of Living with Lolita. Today's episode is called They'll Miss You When You're Gone. Have y'all ever been in a relationship where in the beginning the other person is trying really hard to get your attention? They're pulling tricks out of their hat, like they want to take you out on this date, they trying to bag you, like they want to make you theirs, and you finally give them a chance, only for them to misuse you, to mistreat you, to cheat on you, to verbally or mentally, physically abuse you. Do y'all ever think that's just like the weirdest thing? Like, why do you put so much effort into getting me, and then you get me, and then you don't know what to do with me when you have me? I'll give y'all an instance. I was married, as everybody knows. I was married. And in the beginning, he tried really hard to get my attention. You know, I didn't have to want for anything. He bought me whatever. It was good in the beginning. And then we ended up getting married. Shortly after we got married, my mom had passed away. And a year after that is when I first found out that he was on a dating website. We're married. And so I brought it to his attention. And of course he tried to lie about it. But you know, the person that I am, I'm not just going to tell you about it. I have the proof, like hard proof, black and white. So, you know, I showed him that, and then he tried to tell me, oh, it's because I was miserable. You know, you weren't giving me the attention that I needed, you know. So then, although I was angry, I was like, you know, yeah, I really wasn't giving him the attention. But now I'm thinking back on it, and I'm like, my mom passed away. Like, dude, you're supposed to be there for me, okay? I'm not supposed to be there for you. You're supposed to be there for is my mom. So gave him another chance, okay? We kept going on with our marriage because I will say that although things were rocky and a lot of the times I was like, oh, I'm leaving, I didn't, because I didn't get married to get a divorce. I don't think many people do. I wanted to be married for the long haul. It just didn't work like that. But in our marriage, it was so much arguing and fussing and fighting. And then when he was away, like for work, he was cheating, like a lot of cheating, like not just like I'm cheating with one person. It was a whole slew of people. And once again, I have evidence, okay? I'm not just saying this. I have hardcore evidence. We get a divorce. There's other things that happened, but we get a divorce. And after that, 2 separate times, I'm doing well, minding my business. You know, I done moved out, got my own place. You know, I have my job, I have my car. You know, I'm good. And he must have gotten lonely one night, you know. He must have been sitting back thinking about Lolita, you know, and tried to test the waters. And I was not biting the bait. You know, I don't care what you gave me before. I don't want that life anymore. I don't even want to dip and dab in it anymore. Like, I'm all the way done. But I'm thinking, why did you try so hard in the beginning to basically cheat the whole marriage? So that's one instance. And then there was another instance that oh my God, where I dated this person, and initially, I wasn't trying to give him a chance either. And I'm not saying this like, you know, I want people to run after me, you know what I'm saying? But I just felt like with these 2 people that I did it, and I really don't even know why I even gave him a chance, really, to tell you the truth. I don't even know. And it had to, maybe because I just felt like you were so persistent. We're going to go with that, persistent. So with this second person, he was really persistent. I didn't initially give him my phone number. I gave him my Instagram. You know, he was messaging me for like 2.5 months. And then I finally was like, okay, I'll give him a chance. First red flag was the first date. And I drove up to the place. We met at like a public place. I drove up to the place and I was waiting in the car for him because I got there early. and he was almost there. He got there, but I could see out of my rearview mirror that he was getting out of somebody else's car, like from the passenger side. And I'm like, does he not have a car? And, I try to, just like blow that off because I'm like, oh, maybe something was wrong with his car, blah, blah, blah. So, we start talking, we're on the date or whatever. It was cool. He was funny, made me laugh, it was cool. And he was the one who actually brought up the car situation. He was like, oh, yeah, my sister messed my car up, so-and-so had to drop me off. And so I'm not thinking really anything of it because I'm like, things happen. You know what I'm saying? He still made it to go out on this date. So, okay, fine. Throughout our dating, and we probably dated for like 2 years, maybe a little bit more. We dated, and he ended up getting a car. And I didn't really know how he got the car. I just assumed he got it with his own money, because he was working at that time. I just assumed that he got it, it on his own. Come to find out, another girl had bought him the car. And not only did she buy him the car, she held it over his head and was like, if you don't do this for me, I'm going to take the car back, so they were going back and forth with that. And I ended up finding out because I kept asking, something within me was just like, something just don't feel right, so I just started asking more and more questions. And then, one day we actually ended up getting in an argument, and then he told me, about the car. Okay, fine. We were good, then we were bad. Then we were good, then we were bad. And there were times I was guilty of saying, oh, I want to be done. I'm done. And then he'll call me or text me and be like, oh, I miss you. And then I'm like a little wimp. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And then let him come back just for him to do the same thing over and over again. But the very last time, I was just done. And not that he was doing anything at that point in time. I think I just grew out of him. And we didn't see each other for about 4 months. I wasn't calling him. I wasn't texting him. Like, I was done. I actually moved on. And he got angry when he found out that I ended up moving on and caused this big old scene. But you cheated, like, the majority of the time. You were being sneaky. You were being a liar the whole time. You literally fumbled me. And what boggles me is that, sometimes when things like this happen, the other person tries to make it seem like it was something that you did, or like you were supposed to give them more chances. And when you don't give them those chances, they want to be upset with you and angry and irate. Why? I think that, these certain people will say that I wasn't the worst person, obviously, because you're calling me back. Like, you want me to come back. But I think I'm just smarter at this point. I'm smarter to the fact of when I see something, I need to trust that instinct. When I say enough is enough and I'm gone, I'm not turning back. Like, I don't even care what I'm leaving behind, okay? Because in my marriage, I left this house, I left, money, I left security. But before him, I had all that stuff on my own. So why was I staying? Why was I allowing someone to beat me down in a way that he was beating me down? Not physically, but, like verbally and like mentally and emotionally. Like, why was I allowing this person to beat me down? And, that was even with the guy after. Why was I allowing him to do all these things? Like, I'm not a hot commodity, okay? Because I am. And I know that I deserve better. And when I say at this point, enough is enough, enough is enough. Like, that's it. So I'm just saying all this to say that we need to be stronger within our mental to just be like, you know what? I need to walk away from this. Love is not going to make them do right. It's not going to make them not misuse you, mistreat you, mishandle you. Love is not even going to hurt. Okay. Love is supposed to be patient. It's supposed to be kind. It is not supposed to feel like your insides are being ripped out, basically. So now when I see, when I'm here and everybody knows at this point, that I'm single, when somebody is sending me a message or especially if it's like an ex or something like that, I really don't entertain it, because I feel like at this point, where obviously exes are not together for a reason, so we need to leave it like that. I feel like what is for me, I'm going to know, and it is going to feel so good. It's not going to feel like it's hard work. It's not going to feel painful. It's not going to feel excruciating. So yeah, at this point, I'm just like, okay, I may miss you sometimes, and then I may just not, I may just not miss you at all. But I do feel like, for me, that when I walked away from certain things, that it's like a breath of fresh air. And I do remember telling one of my ex that, you know what I'm saying? Like when he asked me, or when he was trying to proposition me, and I was like, yeah, no, because at this point, I feel like it's like a breath of fresh air, like 100 pounds has been lifted off of my shoulders. I don't have to worry about you. I don't have to worry about catching anything. I don't have to worry about, looking crazy out in these streets. I don't have to worry about that. But I will say, when my man comes, okay? When my man comes and, people see me posted up, oh, they're definitely going to wish, because they already wish now that, man, I probably should have done right. And they're trying to redeem themselves. But you don't have to put the effort into me anymore. Like, you really don't. You don't have to put any effort. Like, don't even dial my number. You don't have to like a photo. Like, you don't have to do anything. Like, I'm good. And I want that for, whoever feels like they're weak inside sometimes, because we have our weak moments. Sometimes we feel like, oh man, I'm tired of laying in this bed alone, or I want some male companionship or female companionship. But we don't have to go back to what was. Like, we don't have to backtrack. We can move forward and just wait for that special someone to come along and to treat us like the kings or queens that we are. So do not pick up that phone tonight. Don't answer that text message. Do not answer those phone calls. Keep moving. Don't entertain the old. Wait for your new. Wait for your new. That's all I have for y'all. That is all I have for y'all tonight, okay? Let them miss you. Let them miss you. They should have treated you how they needed to treat you when you were there, when you were available. Just be gone and be done. So guys, that is it for tonight. I will talk to you all later. Thank you so much for living with Lolita. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, let them miss you. Let them miss you, okay?
Her experience has created a safe place. One time with living with Lolita is all it will take. One time with living with Lolita is all it will take. Living with Lolita, living with Lolita, living with Lolita is all it will take.